Hello everybody, and welcome to the first video of my top 10s of 2021. This year has been amazing for releases and everything, including books, and I think reading is one of the best ways to absorb information and learn new topics. So today I'm going to go through 10 of my favorite books of the year and explain a little bit about why I liked each one. I read everything from science fiction to amazing nonfiction books ranging from everything to science, to sociology, religion, and those kinds of topics. I think these are great books and you'll enjoy every single one of them. It was difficult actually to make a top 10 because I was really in love with each one of these authors and their words, and so yeah. But without further ado, let's go into the top 10, starting with the honorable mentions too, because I read so many books that couldn't make it into the list, but I'll name those so you don't miss them too. So over the course of the year, I found 4 books that were really memorable, but sadly couldn't make it into the list, so I'm going to name them really quick. So we got Will by Will Smith and Mark Manson, his biography. It was pretty good. We got Depredadores Sagrados by Bernardo Barranco, and I think this book is very important and covers really strong topics. So yeah, I really recommend it. We also got Books to Furnish a Life by Richard Dawkins. I love Richard Dawkins, and this book does a great job at summarizing a lot of his previous works, like his previous intros and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a really enjoyable read. And now we got The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. Great book, great person, John Green, I love you. So yeah, those were the honorable mentions. So with those out of the way, let's go into number 10. So on spot number 10, we have Animal Vegetable Junk by Mark Bittman. And this book is a really harsh look into history from the perspective of food and how that has shaped us into the human society we are today. So it goes all the way back to the first days of Homo sapiens until today. And it deals with really important topics, and it's really political. It goes heavy into some topics such as genocide and how the history of all that changed us into who we are. So it is a really interesting read, really reveals a lot of things, and I highly liked it. Also, Bittman's style of writing is just amazing. So yeah, I think this book is amazing, and I actually haven't finished it, so I gotta do that soon because I really enjoyed it. So let's go on to number 9. So on spot number 9, we have this beautiful work of art, which is Immune by Philip Detmer. And for those of you who don't know, Philip Detmer is the head of Kurzgesagt in a Nutshell, which is one of the best channels on YouTube. Honestly, if you haven't seen their videos, just go right ahead right now and watch them because they're amazing and they actually inspired this channel. So Kurzgesagt in a Nutshell makes a lot of videos on science and on technology, the future of humanity, other interesting science topics, and this is his first book. So it is a beautiful look into the immune system, which is a topic that I really didn't understand at first. I was surprised actually that it was going to be the immune system, but it ended up really being really amazing. It is really detailed. It has it is full of the art that makes Kurzgesagt so amazing, and it's just so beautiful to read and really makes you understand this topic that a lot of people are confused on. But the immune system is just fantastic. It is just a great way to look into that topic. So yeah, number 9 is Immune by Philip Detmer.
Hello everybody, how's it going? This is me editing the video later on vacation. So I realized that the video file for number 8, which is Rationality by Steven Pinker, got lost. So I'm kind of re-recording that part. So yeah, I just wanted to add that. So number 8 is Rationality by Steven Pinker. This is a great book. I really like what Steven Pinker's ideas reflect, especially around the topic of rationality and critical thinking, which is something I'm really passionate about. And I really enjoyed this book so much, and it's my first Steven Pinker book, and so far I really liked him as an author and as a thinker. And it covers a lot of topics like logical fallacies and some different techniques for critical thinking, and it's just an overall really enjoyable read. So if you're interested in science or any of that, please give it a read. And yeah, that'll be everything for today. Now on to the rest of the video.
On number 7, we have The God Equation by Michio Kaku. And Michio Kaku is one of the most fantastic science writers on earth. I really like his style of writing, and he covers a really important topic that he calls the crowning achievement of all sciences. The theory of everything is an equation that might someday be discovered that unifies both the quantum side of physics and Einstein's general relativity, which are the two main areas of physics studies. And one day, if somebody manages to combine those two, it will be amazing for all future discoveries. So Michio Kaku goes on different ideas of how he thinks this will happen and some of the prevalent theories today. So it is a really fantastic read. I really recommend it if you love science, if you love physics. So It is insane to think of all the advances and all the things that are going to shape physics in the years to come. So yeah, I really recommend it, and it is just fantastic. So number 6, we have A Thousand Brains by Jeff Hawkins, and this book is a fantastic read that covers topics in neuroscience that I was really passionate about, and I really thought it was incredibly interesting with all the new theories that are coming up in the field of neuroscience. And this is a topic I would love to explore more in the future because it really fascinates me, especially with the ideas that it covers. So Jeff Hawkins aims to ask two questions, which is what is intelligence and how it is created. And I think the way the book covers those questions and how it presents this theory, which involves reference frames, is just phenomenal. The main idea of the book is that these reference frames form models of the world which we perceive in the brain, and that is translated into sensory inputs. And it basically forms the basis of how we form thoughts, how we even attain consciousness, and how that relates to the concept of intelligence. And even it goes deep into how we might replicate this in the future with machines. So as somebody who's interested in AI a lot, I really enjoy this topic, and the topics he covers are just phenomenal. So yeah, I really recommend this if you are studying psychology or if you are interested in AI. So yeah, I really like this book. So from this point onward, we're gonna go into some top tier stuff, starting with number 5, which is Cultish by Amanda Montell. So this book goes deep into cult psychology, how cult leaders use manipulation and other techniques to gather followers, and also covers some really interesting areas of groups that you would never suspect are a cult, but use some of the same methods. So it goes all the way from the tragic events of Jonestown and Heaven's Gate to today, to seemingly harmless things like fitness groups that might use terms that might be considered cultish. So I highly enjoyed this book for several reasons. One, it's brilliantly, fantastically written. I really enjoyed the way Amanda Montell writes and the way that she uses plenty of examples to illustrate the points and the lessons recovered in the book. A lot of the techniques used by cult leaders include manipulation, gaslighting, indoctrination in some really heavy ways, and also a lot of abuse. And it really focuses on these topics while also connecting that to things that might happen in real life in normal situations. Things like thought-terminating cliches, which are phrases that it's a term that means phrases that are used to shut down any questioning or logical discussion of a topic in order to keep people indoctrinated. So it really is full of information, a lot of different examples of these things in action or history. It is really heart-wrenching sometimes to imagine these things happen in real life, but it also makes you a better critical thinker. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Number 5, Cultish. It is a fantastic book, so go read it. So on number 4, we have the first fiction book of the list, which is an amazing, just incredible work in every way. One of the best fiction books I've ever read. So it is Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, which is the author of The Martian. And this book is just incredible from beginning to end. And I noticed that it's impossible to talk about Project Hail Mary without going into spoilers, because I swear every single chapter in this book is a spoiler, because it is just that shocking, that amazing, that intense. Every chapter something new happens that goes all the way to the end. So without giving too much away, it's about a scientist who wakes up without any memory on a ship, and he has to find a way to understand why he's doing what he's doing in that ship and what he's going to do now. So yeah, please read it. It is one of the best science fiction novels ever made. I really enjoyed this book in every way, and I cannot recommend it enough. So, and it's not even the first book on the list. I really enjoy this, and words cannot express how also I enjoyed the next books in the list. But yeah, for the first fiction book, it is just great. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't read much fiction. So yeah, give it a look, give it a read, and let me know what you think. So now we're down to the top 3 best books. These are the ones that inspired me the most, the ones that I think are the most important. And we'll start with number 3, which is The Right to Sex by Amia Srinivasan. So this book is just fantastic in every way. It is a carefully crafted and important analysis of feminism, and it covers really heavy topics such as sexual assault, pornography, the effects on both men and women. And it is just a fantastic read. I found out about it because Alex O'Connor recommended it in his channel. So also I recommend highly his channel. If you want to go and look at some interesting content, please go over there. So this book is just fantastic in every single way. I really enjoyed how every single sentence has a meaning in The Right to Sex. Each one is highly researched, and it has a lot of data, but it doesn't like overwhelm you with data, but it's just so amazing. And it made me think of topics that a lot of men don't understand, and I think it does it in a really accessible, great way. So it is also a brilliant philosophical work. Amir Srinivasan is a great professor and philosopher, I think, at Oxford. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and it really makes you think. So I highly recommend it, and I think everybody should read it. So yeah, now let's go on to number 2. So at number 2, we have Bill Gates, The How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. And this book is just depressing. Not just kidding. Well, it is depressing, but it also has a lot of solutions. So This has to do a lot with climate change. It offers like a lot of different perspectives on climate change, and it goes deep onto the causes and also the statistics. So it goes into how much of the book, I mean, how much of the emissions go to the manufacturing sector, agriculture, transportation, and materials. Also, it really made me think of ways I didn't know about climate change, and it really, really inspired me to take action and even to found this channel. So actually, I made a really careful analysis of the book in my other channel. So if you want to check that out, please go into the description. But yeah, the book is really heavy with data. It offers plenty of solutions because I really like books that have a focus on technology, like on emerging technologies. And this one does it with some new emerging sources of energy, some solutions people have to the carbon emissions. So I think it's going to be really cited in the next couple years because it is just a great book. And it's also Bill Gates' first book in 20 years. So that's a plus it has. But yeah, I highly enjoyed How to Avoid a Climate Disaster. So yeah, this is on my number 2 of 2021. So we've reached the final point, the final book of So we reached the last one, the final book of 2021, which is The Codebreaker by Walter Isaacson. Jennifer Doudna, Gene Editing, and the Future of the Human Race. This book is fantastic in every way. It is just so inspiring and so scary and just everything. And I actually haven't finished it. I'm almost there. Just a little bit to go to the end, but I just really enjoyed it. And Walter Isaacson is a great author. He's made a lot of biographies, including the Leonardo da Vinci one and some others. And I really enjoyed this one because it's not only a biography of Jennifer Doudna, which is the discoverer of the CRISPR-Cas9, but it's also a science book. It's a story. It's a highly gripping drama story sometimes. And it's also philosophical work because it goes deep into gene editing, how it was discovered, how CRISPR, which is the new tool method that it's being used to possibly edit genes all the way to like how attractive you are, how tall you are, and some different topics which I found fascinating and scary at the same time. So some of my favorite parts were both explaining the science and also the philosophical issues that arise from gene editing, because I really like philosophy and I think it was raised some really important questions like how it will increase inequality. Is it really ethical to do? It goes really deep into some really impacting stories, recent ones too, like the case of He Jiankui, doctor in China, which edited the first genetically engineered humans. So that is a really fantastic thing. It goes into like some of the responses of the scientific community, and it's just so full of information. It's a really big book, but I really enjoyed it, and it's really fantastic. It's also entertaining. It makes science fun. So yeah, this is a great book to give somebody if they're really interested in science and to basically just learn about a topic that I think will transform the future a lot. So yeah, I really enjoyed the topic of gene editing, and this book was fantastic. And it is definitely my best book of 2021, my favorite one. And yeah, please give it a read. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I'll leave it here so everybody can see. So thank you everybody for watching. I really enjoyed making this video because learning is really important, and also learning through a scientific perspective and critical thinking. So yeah, I think that will be everything for today. So thank you all for watching. This is everything for today. Have a great day everybody, and have an awesome new year too.